Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Barakatham. I want to say Davon Asai Apostles / Elders, which are GMS, and blessed salutations to you brothers out there teaching, enduring truth, sincerity. Um, as you see here, you see a precept coming out the gate, open rebuke. It's better than secret love, which is Proverbs 27:5. Okay. And I was just watching some lessons on some brothers, man. They was hitting some hot points. Brothers' spirits get stirred up, toward the ministry. It's always in a positive connotation, but it's not always received as that, on any end, which goes back to the precept is Salakia thing here, man. In Ecclesiasticus 20:1, it says, "There's a reproof that is not comely. Again, some man holdeth his tongue, and he is wise." And that word "comely" is beautiful, and reproof is correction. So, when you hear these lessons and these epistles that our brothers are putting out, man, we always got to see it as a spirit of the Most High, and that goes into what this lesson here is about, is basically recognizing that, this is not just a man telling you this, as you go into, let's see here, we're going to 2nd Ezra, I believe, 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter. 2nd Ezra chapter 2 verse 1, it says, "Thus said the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage and gave my commandments by men servants, the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despised my counsel." In this particular situation, is rightful to assume that the brothers in the ministry are not the ones that despise the counsel. But the point is here is that the Most High send commandments by his maidservants, the prophets. So when brothers are telling you things that are harsh on the spirit, that are not comely, don't get into the aspect of seeing it as, this is the guy I ate chicken with, or I went and played pool with, or I've drank with, and I seen him at it, his lowest and his highest. I seen him do this, or blah blah blah. Or you don't know my problems, or this and that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be that guy. You always want to have a spiritual eye. When it comes to things such as that, man, you don't want to be that person. That's not easy to be reproved. We're gonna get that scripture real quick. So let's see here. So we're gonna go to Proverbs 29, verse 1. It says, "He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked people mourn." But the point is that it's like I went too far. But it says, "He that being often reproved hardness his neck." You know what I'm saying? Because it's I'm trying to word it right, and I'm just gonna say it frank that Brothers got to get rid of those ego problems, and I can attest to it because I was a part of it. I know how I feel. I'm not just saying this and just barking out anything, and we shouldn't have to say that for a person to understand that, you know, you have a problem. That's just like, if we were to go to a nigga woman and tell her about her problems, and she said, and we got to soften it up by saying, well, we got to do things too. It's just like, nah, man, we men, you know what I'm saying? You know what's up, when it comes to things such as that, in that nature, so you want to be that person that's easy to be reproved. You want to be that person that's not stiff-necked, and the main thing, there's plenty of things that comes with the difficulty of reproof, and as camp heads or camp leaders and brothers in the ministry, older brothers, fellow brothers, whatever rank and position you are, when you see, like the brother always joke about how Esau got that old snitch codes. You see something, say something, you know what I'm saying? But this is dealing with reproof, where if you see something, you say something, you know what I'm saying? You see a thing a brother's doing, you say something about it, because even the book of Jude says, hating the garment spotted by the filthy, hating the garment spotted by the flesh, where you pulling your brother out of the fire, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mentality that we gotta have. And when you're pulling your brothers out of that fire, you're not just having that old nice spirit of, hey, come on here, you're snatching them out of the fire, man. You know what I'm saying? So when we see brothers in amongst our ministry, we definitely are obligated to say a thing. If you really care about that brother, you're not gonna tell somebody how to, or just watch somebody burn and crash. You know what I'm saying? That's not a brother. And the people that's on the receiving end shouldn't definitely not feel like this person is being destructive to you. Because if you can't receive, once again, if you can't receive reproof, you have an ego problem. If a person tell you what's wrong with you and you automatically feel like you're being attacked, you have an ego problem. You know what I'm saying? And since that word keep, being brought up, we're gonna go to the Etam online and just look up the word ego. Okay. That word ego goes back to metaphysics, the self, that which feels, acts, or thinks. It uses in egaiety. They have pleaded against propriety, and would have all things common in this world, have forgotten that there is a propriety, a natural constitution which renders some accidentally propriety necessary to us. But the word just goes back to really the self, you know what I'm saying? And that's immediately what people think, if a brother say, and that's the main thing, besides the examples, the main thing is that what brothers are having problems with is their level of virtue, and how they handle things. Because everybody do a thing wrong. Everybody does something wrong. Everybody doesn't get a thing right. But it's really how you respond and react. You know what I'm saying? Reaction is a thing, but a response is even worse. You know what I'm saying? Or it could make or break you. Peter, when the Lord told him he was going to deny him, Peter didn't believe that, but yet Peter did it. But what was Peter's response after he did that? He got up, shook that off, repented, and went in full-fledged, man. The same thing he was afraid of, he went and faced head on. You know what I'm saying? But when you get in that spirit of, a brother coming down on you or coming and correcting you of a thing, and one of the hardest things that I've noticed, and it becomes wearisome to reprove, is someone that has a reason to why they're incompetent. The Lord says here, see here. So I want to go into this term. There's a particular set of scriptures, but I just get one. Exodus. I will go to Exodus 18 and 21. Right? It says, "Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear the Most High of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, and rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens." So going back to what I was saying is that when you have a level of incompetence with a brother in the camp, or you have a level of competence or inefficiency with one of the brothers, and you address it, and they're not telling you, like the brother said, and it sparked my spirit, they're not telling you a solution. They're telling you why they're incompetent. They're telling you why they cannot get the job done. And dealing with this ministry, the Lord clearly said in Exodus 18:21, he says, "Provide out of all the people able men." You know what I'm saying? So I want to get that word able, right? I don't think it has too much to it. The last time I believe I looked it up, but I'm gonna get it anyway, right? The word able goes back to chayal, cha, ya, and la. Chayal, it means strength, might, efficiency, wealth, army, strength, ability, efficient, wealth, force, army. So one of the words that stick out to me based off this lesson is efficiency. You know what I'm saying? Ability. Strength. So to sum it up, the Lord ain't gonna sit here and have you incompetent in this ministry acceptably. Like, this is your thing. You're not able to do this. You're not able to be reached all the time. You know what I'm saying? You're not able to be of service. You're not able to come to camp on time. You're not able to hit the highways, all the time, for lack of better words, because some brothers are not able to, but they're able bodies. You never, and regardless of how, outsiders look at it, or even, if any brother in the ministry has a feel about it, but you should be financially able man too, because what it says, wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because things happen, and then when your number's called, you're the guy in the back twiddling his thumbs like, oh man, I'm uptight, and you're always that guy's uptight. It's understandable when you're uptight here and there, but when you're always uptight and you can't provide nothing for the ministry, brothers come through, who can hold up brothers, things like that. You want to be an able body. You want to be a person that's ready and usable, for the ministry. Now, with that being said, the Lord choosing you out of this world, he didn't choose an unable person, a person that's not able to fulfill the process and the prophecies of the Lord. He's not going to pick somebody that's not able to do it. So why even accept an excuse? You know what I'm saying? So if there's a reason why you didn't do that, sure enough, it's for that particular reason, but you should never say, well, this is why I did that. Nobody wants to hear that. You know what I'm saying? It's understandable. Things happen. There's plenty of reasons why unfortunate circumstances happen, but when a brother is reproving you or rebuking you, you know what I'm saying, um, then you should be engaged as you should be engaged in solving the issue, not explaining why you're inefficient or inefficient in not making this happen again. Something simple as being late, waking up, oversleeping during camp time, and hitting the highways, and you're showing up late, and you're like, oh, well, I got this problem and that problem. This is why that. Nobody wants to hear that, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you think that it's gonna work, then you're basically admitting to yourself that you're not an able man to you're not able to do this. And if you're not fit for the job, just like any other employment company where they tell you to show up at this time, and if you tell them, look, I got a child, and I'm not going to be able to come on time because I got a child, then what you think they're going to do? They're going to fire you, find somebody that's able to come on time. You know what I'm saying? Because the process needs somebody to be there on time to do a certain thing. So really, at the end of the day, your reasons don't matter. The Lord ain't gonna put you in a situation where you're not able to fulfill His will. You know what I'm saying? And when you go to reprove, and that's, like I said, it's one of the most frustrating things to deal with, is a person that make excuses, because, like I said, excuses like assholes. Everybody got one. You know what I'm saying? And for me, when I've dealt with brothers in the ministry and dealt with brothers in my camp in particular, the camp that the Most High put me over through the elders and the apostles, and I'm just trying to clarify so it don't sound like I'm being narcissistic or anything, but I had situations where I reprove brothers, and I tell them, and they'll tell me why, and it becomes frustrating because we're not. I'm gonna see this problem again because you're telling me why you're doing it. You're not telling me, or we're not discussing how we're gonna stop this situation. Cause I ain't no person that like a tyrant type of spirit with like let's figure this out, type of deal. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, hey man, this is the problem. We got a problem here. We need to fix this issue. How about we slide this day over here and put this time over here, and we do this over here. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only usage of a reason why you're incompetent. Is to utilize the information and solve it. Which goes back to another thing. He says one man look to build a tower and not count up the cost. You know what you signed up for. You know what the requirements are. You know what I'm saying? So you be ready. Put yourself in position. You might have to work harder than another brother to be an able man. You know what I'm saying? You might have to go through more measures than another person. Just answering your phone is important to be an able man. Financially stable, readily available. You know what I'm saying? These things is what you should want to be. You should. The Lord said, if you love me, you will feed my sheep. He told Peter that 3 times. Love me. If you love me, feed my sheep, man. Charity covers the multitude of sins. So these are opportunities to be an able man. And as far as reproof is concerned, this is the opportunity to grow. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what reproof is all about. It's definitely synonymous with edification, with building you up and making you better at a thing. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you, if you're uneasy about somebody telling you something wrong, it's impossible for you to grow, man. As a boxing coach, I don't want to hear nobody telling me why they can't snap a jab how I want them to snap a jab. You basically telling me that you're incapable of doing that. So why teach you? You see what I'm saying? Like, you're basically saying you're not teachable. But then you want to come as though you're humble. No, you're not humble. The scripture says, come in this truth as a newborn babe, desiring the sincere milk. A newborn baby is supposed to desire the sincere milk. What that means, you don't know nothing. Don't tell a person why. Figure out how to make that come with a resolution to that situation, man. It's very, very vital for you to be contrite, especially when dealing with reproof, and especially dealing with reproof from your akim, because brothers oftentimes become too familiar with other brothers in the camp and even camp heads. You get too familiar and you start seeing them as men. Yeah, we're men, but the Most High ordained us to be prophets and ordained us to be teachers. So when we speak, the Most High has given us unctions to say certain things and reprove a certain thing. But when brothers get offended, brothers are wise in the truth enough to basically block all the reproof off, so a brother won't reprove them. You know what I'm saying? Or they won't lose face. They're trying to save face. They're trying to say, okay, I'm not this fuck up that you're making me. But that's not the whole deal. I can't say the whole deal. It's not the deal at all to reprove. Nobody's sitting here and trying to say, hey, look, I'm better than you. That's not the case. All right. So you should get that carnal mentality out of your mind. Of thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? You should always be like, this is my opportunity to grow, to get better. You know what I'm saying? Not only you should be examining yourself whether you are in the faith, as the scripture says, but when someone tells you, that's a helpful tool to help you out examine, because that's a fresh set of eyes, or that's eyes from the outside looking in, so to speak, when dealing with you as a person. And the main thing, once again, is virtue, man. It's character. Virtue basically goes back to character and ethics. Because brothers will keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? Brothers are toil with you. Brothers are believe. We're one and like-minded. But that virtue is where things start splitting at. And it's knowing when to do a thing, why to do a thing, and how to do a thing, to be ethical. A lot of rules and ethics are not laid out. Sometimes it is. Sometimes the Lord, most times the Lord blesses with it, like rise up to the hoary head. Order within the camp, things like that. But sometimes some things are internal, to where you're actually trying to improve as a man or woman of the Lord. But these things are internal, which basically is listening, repenting, you know what I'm saying? Having that type of a vibe and energy about yourself. So once again, when somebody reproves you, whether you feel like they're wrong or right, actually listen. Because you're always going to feel like you're right. Everybody got a reason for everything that they do, man. Everybody got a good reason for why they're this or they're that, and everybody got a reason for why they're not able to meet certain standards. And it's always a legit reason why you're not able to meet a certain standard. But you have to be hard on yourself. I could sit here and say, well, I'm not able to keep these commandments because I'm in Babylon. But does that mean, do I not strive for it? Do I not figure out, why am I doing this thing? And can I change it? And if I can't, then that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean I'm not going to try. So when a person's telling me and reproving me and telling me, hey, don't do this, don't be in this mindset. And sometimes I feel like, hey, I'll be talking to certain brothers, and in my mind, I feel like, man, I don't think I'm being like that. But the spirit would be like, hey man, shut the fuck up, man. This brother said that for a reason, man. You know what I'm saying? And what does it hurt for you to examine that? What does it hurt for you to check out where the brother said you're fucking up at, or they have a gripe against, or saying something? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does it hurt to look at it and fix whatever chink in your armor? He ain't doing nothing but becoming stronger. So once again, if you're not able to be reproved, you need to get your panties out of a bunch, gird up your loins like a man, and handle your business. Stop feeling all sad when people reprove and rebuke you, mopey and shit. You know, like keep that same energy when you right, keep that same energy when you're wrong. Of course, you're not jovial about getting chewed out, but you should be happy to say, like, I got something I can work on. I got a direction. I got something I can, you know, try and get better at. Instead of just wandering aimlessly or thinking you're all good when you're not. You know, it's a beautiful thing to have something to work on and have direction, man. To sit here and say, I need to work on holding my peace. I need to work on being more prompt. I need to work on not being slothful. To sit there and have something like that to work on while you're in this ministry, it gives you a occupation. It gives you a thing to do constructively. You know, so when somebody points that out, say that you just constantly fucking up and you know, had a brother who was, you know, not on point, not on par spiritually, as far as being like-minded. You know what I'm saying? Brother's young, mind you, but you know, you tell him and the person says, oh, I did this because of that. I ain't know this was like, yo, the person, you know, I'm telling you this because you did that wrong, and if you do this like this, then you'll be okay. But the person was basically trying to save so much face that the edification just went right past them. You know, so I just want to go over that. I think is a real important thing to focus on. You know, as far as the Akim is concerned, you know, with the Ahava Thumb, you know, or the Ahabya, you know, the Akia, you know, the love that I have for the Akim or for my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Am I my brother's keeper? Yes. You know, we are responsible for each other. And don't be a fucking dickhead or asshole and make it hard to be responsible for you. You know, like, it's not our job to fucking keep going back into the fire. If you like the fire, you must like it. You know? So basically, when a brother say a thing, man, regardless of how you feel, get your panties out of a bunch. Take heed to what that brother's saying. Examine yourself, you know, and see where you're doing these things that get you into these bad situations. Or examine yourself and see where you can get better at and get more structured at. You know, you should be obsessed with improving and getting better. That should be you should be a fanatic about that. You know, because the scriptures say when you come to serve the Lord, put forth all your strength. You know, even yet will he far exceed. So you should already be in the mentality of constantly getting better. You know, which reminds me, I'm gonna say this one thing, and we call it a rap. You know, where the boxer Clarissa Shields was talking about the Canelo Jacobs fight, and she said something that stuck out to me, that she said that Canelo Alvarez is getting better fast because he's in competition with itself. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to be better than what he was the last time. You know, some people think that some people are legends in their own mind. Some people think that they're the shit, and all they have to do is radiate their vibration, and people will see it. You know what I'm saying? That's why the scriptures say don't sit in a high seat in a house, and because when somebody higher comes in, you got to get up out that seat and move down to your proper place. But instead, sit in the lowest seat, so when that man comes, that's over the which is Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? But it also reflects in when you're in a room full of people that's above you. You know what I'm saying? And that person sees you and they'll say, hey, come on, get up in this higher seat. Basically, humble yourself and you shall be exalted. And exalt yourself, you shall be abased. So you shouldn't be in this ministry thinking that you know everything and that you have a good reason to why you're fucking up. You know? Because if you're right all the time, you'll be rich. You'll be a man of the Lord. You have a decent woman. You know what I'm saying? You have kids that know and do everything right, and you don't. You know, we don't. We'll never get sick. That's not the case. And a majority of that stuff is based on us and based on how we put ourselves in these positions. You know what I'm saying? And we have to admit that. You know, us being in Babylon, that's a reflection of our doing. We're really our people, the nation of Israel. He said he moved us. He moved us not for our destruction, but he moved us because he put us in a situation because we moved him to wrath by idolizing and going away from the law. So at the end of the day, us being in Babylon is from us breaking the law and going to idol worship. So it is our fault. Now you got to examine yourself and say, where is this? Do I keep the law? What laws I'm not keeping? Let me try to keep those and see. Let me constructively say which laws can I obviously keep and what laws can I not obviously keep in Babylon. Such as you see a man lie with another man, you shall surely put him to death. Right? You can't do that here. You know what I'm saying? So clearly you can't keep that law. But there's other laws that you can keep. You know what I'm saying? To your best ability. That's why we say you keep the law to your best ability. You believe in the law. You acknowledge that the law is good. You know what I'm saying? And you honor it. Instead of, when you get, like I said, when you get that reproof, then you automatically catching an attitude and, you're shutting down. Y'all like argumentative. Then, I had a situation, you'd be going back and forth with a brother and you cut them up so much because they like to go back and forth that when you're done, they just shut down and have what I call, back home, we call it the dick look, man. Staring into fucking deep space and shit, bringing the mood down, just a whole different vibe and radiation. Now you're not, you're still a brother, so a brother don't want no fucking weak ass company, you know what I'm saying, or weak ass vibration around them, you know what I'm saying. You should really like be attentive. You don't gotta be like happy that you're getting reproved, but goddamn, you ain't gotta shut down and act like the world hates you and bitching up and shit. You should look in retrospect and say, well, what you mean when you say I do this, and how can I fix it? Be constructive about reproof, man. Stop being a little bitch. Be constructive. Focus on becoming better. Accept that you don't do a thing right. Because if you fix it, then what can a person say about you? If you're so worried about your ego and your status, we all in Babylon here, so statuses shouldn't even matter, man. We all doing this for the will of the Most High, so statuses shouldn't matter. All glory gonna go to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai anyway, so why are you trying to be somebody? So I just want to put that out there, and hopefully you brothers was edified. I think it's very important for us that are in the ministry to not only be easy to be reproved, but be an able man. Be available. And one of the things that help you grow in this thing is being able to be reproved, being contrite, being broken, understanding that you're not the shit. You're not King Tut. You're not that guy. You're just trying to prove to the Most High that that you should receive salvation, that you want salvation, not that you deserve it, but that you want it. You know what I'm saying? You got to show them that you want it through your actions. If you don't sound like a person that wants salvation, that always got an excuse to why they fucking up, man. You don't sound like a guy that want a raise that always come late to his job and he always got an excuse to why he's coming late. You just sound like a guy that's just gonna keep coming late when you make an excuse to why you're coming late. But a person that even if you gotta sit down with your boss and say, hey man, I'm having problems, what can I do to show up on time more? That speaks volumes compared to you saying, well, you don't understand my problem, man. I've been up with my newborn all night and blase blase. It was like, well, I gotta get somebody without a newborn, man, because niggas with newborns don't come on time. That's how things work, But outside of that, man, it's nothing too much additional. I just want to say call law to y'all by Shem Shai. Double honor to the apostles / elders, which are GMS, and blessed salutations to you brothers out there teaching, enduring truth, sincerity, and sincere Habathum Sequoiam to the women and men out there that's in this truth and sincerity. And I hope this lesson was edifying unto you. And I hope you continue in the ministry and grow in the ministry. I said, a sincere Habathum Zaquayim. Shalom.